All right. Good morning. Good morning, guys. This is the IPA call. And of course, we are highlighting builders and people that are having success with the system of growth. Just the people that we really want to hear what they're doing, the people that are doing the daily activities that are making the money, that are producing income producing activities. So we're going to hear from two ladies on the same team. First is going to be our moderator today. That's Christy Walsh. I don't know that she even knew she was going to be interviewed today. So she thought she was interviewing her brand partner, Mary Olsen, who will also be interviewing today. So if we want to throw Mary up there as well, we'll kind of start off with Christy, and then Christy, you can roll into asking Mary questions. But of course, Christy, so Christy, if you guys don't know, she's part of the Canadian team. She's under Chris and Joni Budd. And she'll tell you how she ended up there. I mean, because she was looking for drop or looking at the drops, and then realized it was a business, and realized she just spent retail money when she could have made money. So that's what kind of she'll tell you about that. But Christy has been in the industry for a long time, and she's had some success, but nothing like here. So I want her to talk a little bit about that and what the differences are, and then what she's doing daily. Because I mean, we were talking just a few minutes ago, and I think you said on Friday you did 7 opportunity Zooms for your team. And that's what it
Ye-
takes. If you hear Todd talking, it's 5 a day. That's what, if you want to be full time, it's 5 a day. You need to be putting this in front of 5 people a day. It doesn't have to be just your 5 people. It can be 5 um, of your team members people, but you want to be looking at 5 a day. And Christy definitely does that. And then I'm gonna let you introduce Mary and everything. But go ahead, Christy.
Yeah, so I didn't realize I was being interviewed this morning either, but yeah, so I mean, I started the business. I bought that first box at retail pricing, and then later that night, after I saw a couple more posts from Joni, I was like, I wonder how much money she made off that box. So that's how I got started, and it took me a little bit to wrap my head around the posting because I have been in the industry. Joni and I were in a couple other companies, but I hadn't really made any money. I think the most people I ever had on a team was, the first one we ever did. And then after that, maybe 5 people. And so, I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen, but what did happen was I got out of my own way. And that was the first thing. I had to stop thinking about the posts and how silly they look because we all know, we all look at them and go, how is this thing going to work? And so once I got out of my own way and scheduled out the posts, I was ultimate and sold 30 boxes in my first 12 days. And then started, offering the business and everything. And Mary was my first brand partner that came into the business. And she can kind of tell you how that happened. But she knew that she wanted the wholesale pricing right off the bat and she wanted to get her boxes for free. So um, but then, after looking at the system of growth on the USA board, Joni and I were kind of like, we got to set something up for Canada because we were getting so many people into the business because nobody had seen something as duplicatable as this. And so we fired up a Canadian board, and that thing keeps me busy updating it all the time. Um, and yeah, so now I have almost 1,000 people on my team, which has just built completely naturally. Like I didn't have anyone to bring in. I didn't even realize this was going to happen. And but yeah, it all boils down to doing the actions to bring the people in. Yes, we all post at 9 and 3, but that's passive recruiting, right? That's just putting it out there and having people come to you, which is amazing, especially for new people like that have never done network marketing. Like what an amazing experience to have this company as their first and last company because they're like, well, I didn't realize it was so darn simple, right? We just post and people come to you and you make money and you enroll people and so that's passive recruiting. But then, both Mary and I do a lot of the activities. So I'm out there talking to everybody. I wear my buttons. The other day, I was at the grocery store and I pulled out, the Partner Co. Visa. And I was like, oh, this thing doesn't have a tap on it. Oh, I'm going to have to swipe it. And she's like, oh, that's weird. The cashier, right? She's like, oh, that's weird. What kind of credit card doesn't have a tap? And I said, oh, I get paid all my commissions off this thing. And she's like, what kind of business is that? And she enrolled in my business on Friday. So we're doing the activities, we're out there talking to people, and we're stepping out of our own way over and over and over again. So I mean, that's kind of what I do on a daily basis. And then yeah, I was able to retire from my cleaning company December 1st. And now I've never been busier. Like we say, it's simple and it's easy, but it is busy. Like Friday, I was in, I think I did 7 Zooms, opportunity Zooms, just like back to back all day long. But it's totally worth it.
Okay, Christy, before we go any further, I'm sorry, Mary, real quick. You mentioned the partner code card, and now you got everybody asking what that
Oh,
is.
yeah. Most people don't realize that we can get paid, in our e-wallet, get direct deposits in our bank accounts, or we can select the partner co. What is it in the back office? I forget what it's called, but you can actually order a MasterCard or a Visa, and then your commissions get loaded right onto that. So it's a prepaid Visa or MasterCard. And of course, there's no interest because it's prepaid, and you just load your commissions on there and you can use it as a like a regular credit card. It's beauty, and it starts lots of conversations.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to dig into that because that's something I didn't know.
Oh,
I think that's several of us, but anyways, to go on with the IPAs, leading into Mary, you talk about chicken list. You were scared of Mary, right?
I feel so
Not to say
bad
it like
talking
that,
about it.
but
I feel so bad talking about it nowadays. And Todd has said we have to keep that in our, in our presentation because it's a really interesting way. So Mary and I were from the same hometown, and she had been in businesses in the past too. And so had I. And I don't know, maybe it was 2015. We kind of were fighting over a customer in a different business or something like that. And she was nasty.
that was
So
before the
I
drops, right, Mary?
that was way before the drops. And so like I was scared when Facebook kept recommending her as a friend to me, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know if we're going to be friends." And so like I added her, and then I canceled it, and I added her. Like I'm sure everyone has heard our spiel. And then finally I was like, "Okay, Joni's in my head, right?" And she's like, "Do it scared, do it scared. If you have that nudge in your tummy, you need to do it because that's God, the universe telling you that it has to be done." So I just clicked, add friend. And then I sat there and I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. And literally, well, that was like 1 year ago today, I think, was it not, Mary? Literally 3 hours later, she messaged and said, "What are these drops? I know there's a business, send me info." And so that's how we started. And that was 1 year ago today. And now, I mean, getting to know Mary on the drops and in the business, we have traveled the world together already. We've became best of friends. And she's a true testament of better together. She will help anyone and everyone cross lines, down lines, sidelines, up line, wherever. She is always willing to lend a hand. She is the first one that's like, "There's a meeting here. We got to go. Come on, Christy." She's like my voice of reason in my head, keeps me grounded, and an incredible business partner and leader. I think she has 450 or 60 people on her team already. She's planning to hopefully retire from her job coming soon, I think. Oh yeah, you're at work. So yeah, it is her 1 year anniversary in the business in Partner Co. And so congratulations, Mary. Yeah, you can take the floor, and we'd like to pick your brain on what you've been doing the last year and where you've come from and how you got here.
Yeah. and Mary, she is at work just like I am, so she's actually sneaking away. And I saw her look up one time, like, "Oh, boss walked in, something." So, yeah, Mary, please unmute if you can. And
She
you
can't.
can't mute. Oh,
There we go.
there
I
we
got
go.
you. I got you.
All right, Mary. So you're at work. I know you don't have a lot of time, but today is your 1 year anniversary, and it's awesome that you've been here for a year. You've done so much. I know, Christy. I think you could say this too. You wouldn't be where you were without Mary and without her support and what you guys do together. Yeah, I mean, y'all are kind of running mates on this thing, and it does really well, like you said. But Mary, what do you do every day? Because I mean, you have to work. I mean, you're working right now. So how do you make this fit in and still have the success that you have?
I think it's a mindset. I think it was Todd that said a while ago, you get what you get out of your business what you put into it. I treat this as a full-time business. Yeah, I do work full-time at a regular job, 9 to 5 kind of thing. I go home, I take care of the farm because my husband's working in the oil field half the time. I've got grandkids that I babysit. And so I'm busy and everybody's busy. But you can't let that stop you from building your business because, I mean, famous last words, you just want the discount. But if you put the effort into it now, you will build it to a 6-figure income. And so that's my mindset. That's my biggest why is to retire from a job and do this full time. So put in the work now.
Yeah,
100%.
Mary, one thing is you are real big on events. You make sure you get to events. I mean, you made Rhett drive hours upon hours to Florida, to Utah, things like that. Talk about that. I mean, just talk about why that's important to you, what that does for you guys, what it did for Rhett when he came down to Orlando. Rhett is her husband, by the way, and he is a true cowboy and one of my favorite people in the world. So Mary probably gets tired of me saying that because it's like you don't like it, no, but Red's a good guy. But just talk a little bit about that. What the events mean to you?
What about me, Reese?
I love you, Mary.
Yeah, so like I've been in different businesses before and they've always had, annual events and stuff, but I've never actually gone to one until I went to PXP last year in Orlando. And I decided I was going to get 2 tickets because Rhett was coming with me. I was not going to fly alone because it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I've never, flown alone, and that would have been his first time on a plane. And so I booked him a ticket and I told him he was going. And he he wasn't really into it. He's supportive, but it wouldn't have been his first choice. And so, he was talking to a friend and he said, "Yeah, we're going to Orlando. And, I think it's just going to be a waste of money and blah, blah, blah." When we got to Orlando, and he was able to experience, and he went all in, like he went to all the events, like all the everything. And when he saw Dr. Strand was talking on stage about all the other products, he was paying attention. And as soon as we got out of that session, he was like, "Okay, you need to order this, you need to order this, and we need to get this stuff." But it was the people, like, Ashley was talking to him. We were in the pool and Ashley was out there talking to him. He was really impacted by the people that we were surrounded by. And from PXP on, he's been all in. When we got back from PXP, he was talking to everybody that was in his path. He got me to officer with all the sales that he made.
He totally did. Like when you guys got home, like the power of going to events, when you get home, you are so fired up. And if you can get your spouse fired up, like literally, as soon as we got home, Mary went to officer. Like it was amazing. And I said, "How are you getting all these orders?" And she said, "Rhett just won't be quiet. He's talking to everybody." And then she was taking pictures of like the back of her truck, and it was just full of noni and moa and drops, and they were making deliveries everywhere. And it's just nonstop with Mary. Like, I am just amazed by her work ethic. And she's always saying, well, I'm doing the things. If you don't do the things, you don't get the money, right? So I wanted Mary to kind of touch base on what the things are, because she's relays that to our team on a regular basis. Like, you got to do the things. So what would you say are the top few things that you do to keep your business rolling in?
Yeah, so I always call it the things. I'm always doing the things. Of course, it's, posting at 9 and 3 every day, um, working your Facebook, doing the Facebook sandwich, putting your lifestyle posts in there. Those are all the things that make a Facebook business successful. But then go the extra mile and do the lives and talk to people, wear your buttons, get out of your comfort zone and just spark up a conversation with a stranger. I was at the store yesterday and I was talking to a friend that I ran into yesterday, and they were asking, they said, "Wow, you look great. How much have you lost?" And his wife slapped him and said, "You can't ask a woman that." But I laughed and I told him, and then the lady at the counter was like, "Oh my gosh, congratulations." And so then, he asked how the business was going. And I told him, it's going great. I'm going to either have to go down to part time or retire from my job before long. Otherwise, I go into the next tax bracket. Um, and the lady at the counter was interested. So, I talked to her and I told her, let's get together. Let's, talk about this. And you just have to get out of your comfort zone and talk.
Hey, Mary, you said the Facebook sandwich. I got a couple of questions. What is the Facebook sandwich?
Oh, so when you make your post at 9 and 3, 10 minutes before your post goes live on Facebook, go in there and go into your friends list, people that you haven't talked to for a while or that you haven't noticed in a long time. Go in and make a few comments on their Facebook page, like and love their stuff. And then do the same thing 10 minutes after, and it will put your posts in front of those people that maybe didn't see it. Because, I mean, let's face it, when we put our posts on Facebook, not everybody on your friends list is going to see that. And so you have to kind of mess with the algorithms and force it out there.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I know, I think Ashley Rowland was going to be it. Did Ashley Rowland make it on? I think I see her on. If we can highlight her, I think she was going to say something. Um, but when you guys take promotions and run with them every single time. We go back to Black Friday. You guys were the most structured I've ever seen on any kind of promotion. You had your team. Talk about that and why you use those promotions and how you use them. Like, what are you going to do for this new promotion that we have now that we as people on this IPA call can take and utilize? Because you guys had a lot of success on that Black Friday deal.
We did. It was
Mhm.
pretty intense. We built up to that. We got our team fired up. We made sure that everybody knew what the promotions were. We knew the timing. We were ready for it. We knew that there was other teams out there that were getting ready, at the same time. And so we kind of went through it and said, this is what you need to do. You need to get this in, get this in. And when it's live, hit submit and you're in there. And yeah, like it went so fast that night and we were cheering everybody on. And, as people got their product, they would post in the chat group, "Oh, got mine, got mine." And
Yeah.
yeah, it was really successful.
I
Yeah,
mean,
and leading up to that too. So if we know a promotion or a tour's leading up or there's some big event, what I usually do as like the team leader is I'll go into my group and I'll create another team challenge of some type. So leading up to Black Friday, we had drop talk challenges where I had put out to the team that they would win free tickets to the Edmonton event plus the hotel if they hosted so many drop talks leading up to it. I also had, that was also during like the free sweater challenge. I had my own other challenge going. And so I had spreadsheets, and we were just really embracing our team. And leading up to these events, we do mini events all the way up. So leading up to even this Canadian tour, we were having drop talks everywhere, and whoever hosted a drop talk got a free advantage from me. Now with the free enrollment, I'm running a 7 in 7. So if you enroll 7 people over the 7-day free enrollment in Canada, you get $100 from me. So like I really try to add on extra team events leading up to the bigger events and add them on with the new promotions and everything. So that's a little extra that we do as a team, and Mary really helps me figure that out. We kind of do a powwow and get something figured out, like what would motivate the team. Is it money? Is it free tickets? Is it another hoodie or anything like that? So
And Reese, I want
Yeah,
to add one thing.
yeah,
Ashley
no,
was going to
please.
hop on and be here. I'm sorry I got my camera off. It's early on the West Coast. I admire
I'm
all
just
you
glad
guys
you
so
got
much.
some sleep, bro.
But I will tell you that the first trip Ashley made up for these ladies, they both took off work, drove like 4 hours, picked her up at the airport, put her in the car, and then they went town to town for the week. They're off work, and like it's not easy. It's sacrifice, it's commitment. And then the second time we came was the time I got to see them in action. And the thing I most noticed is how much they must have promoted before we arrived, because every meeting was full of guests. I think Mary's meeting, tell me if I'm wrong, Mary, but I think you had 26 guests in your hometown that night at the meeting. 100 people were in the room, but 26 guests.
Yeah, I think it was 26 or 27. It was the biggest guest turnout for those events. It's a team effort. We really get our team involved. We really cheer everybody on, play who do you know, and everybody showed up, everybody invited, and it's a success that way if we all become one big giant team.
Okay, I'm going to
Yeah,
sign back off. I see Ashley made it.
yeah, I did. I had to pull over, and I'm in a parking lot in Memphis. So I just want to add, like, they had obstacles come their way when I was coming in town. I mean, Christy, do you want to share with that just for a second? Like, you really had to question your sanity there for a minute. And for all of us here in America, we think we have it, we struggle, we have it hard. Up in Canada, they don't have the drops on the ground. So they are really, truly working with 2 hands tied behind their back, blindfolded down in a dungeon, is what I say. But they're out there laying this groundwork and making it happen. And, for so long, you can only keep up the hype and keep the momentum going for so long and waiting for these drops to get on the ground. But these ladies are doing it. So, but to get it started, how they absolutely overcame some obstacles when they didn't know what they were doing, when it was easy to say, okay, I've tried these things before, they didn't work for me before, and obviously it's not going to work for me now. But they overcame all of that. So do you mind sharing that, just that, because I think that's really important.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the first time you came, we had never met you, and we were all like, we don't even know who this Ashley is. And we've got to make sure these meetings are huge. And so, like, we were putting it out to everyone. We wanted 50 people in every meeting, and we had, gift bags and draws and extras and just decorations and everything. And then before I could even go pick up Ashley, I went in because my tire was low. And the guy was like, you can't drive on any of these tires. Like, the wires are showing. I'm going, what? I literally have to travel like 3,000 kilometers over the next week. And so, like, yeah, like I was like, oh wow, how can I do this? And then I remembered, I'm like, I got paid today. And so I threw down that bank card and I put 4 new tires on my car and went and picked up Mary, and off we went to get Ashley.
But what I want
So
to say is what you said that I loved. You were able to put it on your debit card and not your credit card. And you're a
yep,
single mom with 2 kids, all raising, everything is on you.
Yeah, and I mean, we had to arrange a lot, right? I needed to find someone to watch my kids, and like take time off work, make sure all my cleaning clients were taken care of. Like there was a lot of work put into, doing these events. And then again in December, but we just make it happen. And like what I said to Mary and my whole team over the last week, we're the pioneers here in Canada. We're the ones here on the ground grinding it out. We have been faced with so many problems and so many adversities, but yet, when you have a good running mate, and I've got incredible leaders on my team, and our team is just so positive that you can accomplish anything and everything if you just set your mind to it. And what I always say is some people's excuses to give up are other people's motivation to do better. And so you can take that excuse and all of these things that life throws at you, and you can either quit, or you can just, use it as a motivation to continue on. And like I told my kids last week, and I think I tell my team this on a regular basis, if things get super hard, like, and, you know, everything is being thrown at you, that is the time to push forward, because you're just about ready to level up again, right? Life is just about ready to explode and get better. So if you can push through everything that life is putting at you, like the sky is the limit. You're going to come out the other end and go, wow, that was worth it, right? Like, I think that's what it boils down to. And now, we see the light at the tunnel. We see our huge teams. We see the groundwork being laid for these drops to come on the ground. And once they're on the ground, like, I cannot believe we're going to be able to enroll people as ultimates. Like, I don't even know what that's going to look like in our businesses, but I know it's going to be good.
That's another important part, right, Reese? Like how much obstacles they have overcome that has been thrown their way, but they figured it out. So congratulations to all of you Canadian leaders out there that are out there making this happen every single day. And all I have to say is us in America, look out, because these Canadians are going to own it, right? I mean, y'all are amazing, tenacious, hands down. Y'all are out there just grinding it. So I'm just so proud of every single one of you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for believing in us. Like, if it wasn't for Reese and then Ashley coming out and meeting us, like, and having faith that we had things set up, right? And the meetings were just a huge hit. Like, we probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the support from both of you and all of our upline. It's just been absolutely amazing. And even like working up to these drop talks, like we had a drop talk last week that had over 30 people in it, just a drop talk, right? But that was leading up to this Calgary event that we were doing. So I really suggest that if a person has a huge event in their area, do the things, right, Mary? Do the things leading up to these events. Don't just send out invites on Facebook and think people are going to show up. Get in front of them beforehand, get them enrolled in the business beforehand, and then they can bring guests to the bigger event.
Which is a perfect segue into now you interviewing the IPAs for the day, because they went from Reese helping over the phone and on Zooms, and then Ashley going in person and them seeing what drop talks look like, to now doing it themselves. That's the natural evolution. Now, the next evolution they're going to have is leaders on their team. David will help them through that same process, and they'll have their own drop talks. That's how you build a big, big business. Congratulations, ladies. So proud of you.
Thank you so much.